Jai Srimanarayana. Hello everyone, I am the Pauranika. Welcome to the 21st episode of Sri Mahabharata as written by sage Vedavyasa. This episode is in continuation to the Sambhava Parva of Adi Parva. When Bhishma suggested to approach a sage to help in furthering the Kuru lineage, Satyavati smiled, remembering her firstborn son Vedavyasa. She told Bhishma, "Son, I need to tell you about my past. During my earlier days, the son of Shakti, sage Parasara, once saw me and asked to unite with me. I was a young maiden who feared the wrath of the sage and his curse. He gave me a boon that I'll stay a virgin despite our union. We got together and I immediately delivered a son who left along with his father. Before leaving, he promised me that he would come to me whenever I remember him. He is a dark boy who was born in an island of river Yamuna. Hence, he is called Krishna Dvaipayana. He divided the Vedas and attained the name of Vedavyasa. If you are fine with it, I'll call him and seek his help." Then Bhishma asked her to call the sage immediately. Satyavati remembered Vyasa and he appeared in front of her by the next moment. "Mother," he smiled and said. Satyavati's eyes filled with tears. She hugged her son dearly and cried. She introduced Bhishma to Vedavyasa. "Vyasa, he is your brother Bhishma. With King Shantanu, I had 2 sons who died at a very young age, leaving no heir. Bhishma is the eldest son of King Shantanu. He is the son of divine Ganga. He is a great warrior and a staunch Satyavadi, with greatest respect to the truth. For the happiness of his father, he renounced the throne and promised to have no progeny," she said, and Bhishma bowed to Vyasa and exchanged pleasantries. Then Vyasa said, "Mother, tell me how I can help you. Why did you remember me?" Satyavati said, "Son, your youngest brother Vichitravirya died leaving no heir. His wives are beautiful young women who were in deep distress. I want you to have children with them. This is an acceptable and dharmic way approved by learned men. Will you be able to help me?" "Mother, I know that you are well versed in dharma and you will not suggest anything unacceptable. Your suggestion is definitely by the rule of dharma. However, I want both the women to do a diksha for a period of 1 year, without which they will not be able to come close to me. After following those rules religiously and performing the diksha, they will be ready to have kids. I shall bless them with sons who resemble Surya Deva, the sun god, and Varuna Deva, the god of rain," said Vyasa. "Son, I do not have that kind of time. It must happen sooner. A kingdom without a king is susceptible to attacks, and therefore we need a child sooner," Satyavati compelled. "Mother, in that case, they should be able to accept me the way I am. My attire, my appearance, and even my body odor. If they can do that, they shall be blessed with kids immediately," said Vyasa. Then Satyavati approached Ambika and said, "Ambika, as my fortune ended, now the Bharata lineage is reaching its end. Bhishma, who saw my agony and the state of our lineage, suggested me a way, which was very much acceptable by the dharma. The Kshatriya queens followed the same dharma when the kings were destroyed by the wrath of Parshurama. I urge you to have a son who will take over the responsibility of our kingdom." She spoke at length with Ambika and convinced her. Later, at night, as Ambika waited for Vyasa, he entered the chambers. Ambika was scared at the sight of the man. He had thick black beard and moustache, wore a garb for dhoti. His matted hair was copper in color. She closed her eyes in fear. Later, when Vyasa returned, Satyavati asked him if the son will be a great king. "The boy will possess the strength of 1,000 elephants. He himself will have 100 sons, but he will be blind," said Vedavyasa. Satyavati was aghast. "How can a blind man be a king?" No, we need another heir. Please bless Ambalika too with a son, she requested. After 9 months, Ambika delivered a boy and he was named Dritharashtra. Later, on the request of Satyavati, Vyasa returned to bless Ambalika with a child. When Ambalika saw sage Vedavyasa, she was shocked and turned pale. Vyasa told Ambalika that as she turned pale, looking at his displeasing appearance, she would have a son, but the boy will have Pandu disease. His name will be Pandu. He will have 5 great warriors as sons, he said. Later, he informed the same to Satyavati as well. Then, Satyavati requested Vyasa for one more son and the sage accepted. Ambika's fertile period started and Satyavati suggested Ambika to meet Vyasa. But this time, a scared Ambika did not wish to see him again. Instead, she dressed one of her maids in her clothes and sent her to Vyasa. That fine lady received Vyasa respectfully and served him. Vyasa, who was content with her behavior, blessed her with a boy. Later, he informed Satyavati that the boy would be Dharma personified. However, the mother is not Ambika as she sent one of her maids, Vyasa said. The boy so born was Vidura. He was Yamadharmaraja who was born on earth due to the curse of Maharshi Mandavya. After finishing his mother's bidding, Vyasa disappeared from there. The brothers so born, the sons of Krishna Dvaipayana, were Dritharashtra, Pandu and Vidura, who expanded the Kuru lineage. Janamejaya, who was hearing the story from sage Vaisampayana, asked, Maharshi, who is sage Mandavya and why did he curse the god of death Yamadharmaraja? Then Vaisampayana said, Once upon a time, there lived a sage by name Mandavya. He always followed dharma and never uttered a lie. One day, he sat at the entrance of his ashrama meditating. Then few thieves came there. Scared by the chasing soldiers, they entered the ashrama and hid inside. The soldiers who followed them looked around and approached the Maharshi and asked him if he had noticed any thieves coming there. Then they searched the hermitage of sage Mandavya and found the thieves and the stolen wealth as well. The soldiers got suspicious of the sage and believed that he was a party to it. They then picked up the sage and the king ordered to place him on a sula. The sage was placed with his spine over a staff with a piercing edge. As he is a tapasvi, the sage with great tolerance, he did not die and continued his meditation in that position. Many sages took the form of birds and visited him to know his state. The sages then went to the king and told him the sin he was committing. The king regretted his act and tried to bring the sage down. But the piercing edge of the sula got stuck in his back. The king then ordered to cut the outside portion of the staff. The sage lived the rest of his life with a part of the staff inside his body. When he left the earthly world, he once visited Yama to find the reason for the hardships he faced on earth. Then Yama said that he once pierced winged insects in their backs with strands of grass. The way a small good deed gives greater good fortune, even a small sin results in great pain, Yama said. Sage Mandavya then asked Yama, How old was I when I did it? You were a child, Yama said. Don't you know that a child up to 12 years of age will not know the course of dharma and therefore should not be punished? I am hereby establishing a rule. Until a person attains at least 14 years of age, no sin can be attributed to the child. And I am cursing you. I am cursing you that you shall be born on earth for failing to make right judgment, he cursed Yama. That is how Yamadharmaraja was born as the righteous Vidura. Thank you. Jai Sriman Narayana.